What is up, guys? This is Jay, and today I'm going to be responding to Hormaxer. So he's got a couple of points, I guess he's trying to make. He wants to know, why I'm still in the manosphere, if I'm married, and all that jazz. So I will address those points today. I would like to point out I am open to a debate, but I saw who was it? Somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, he wants to debate right now," while he was doing a live stream. It's like, no, dude. Like, we can talk somewhere on Discord, email. Like, I'd be more than happy to set up a time to do a debate. But obviously, I'm not just gonna drop whatever I'm doing and join a debate at some random time. And I think that was like late at night too. So, but I am willing to come on and have a debate. We can do it on your channel or mine; doesn't really matter. Um, anyway, so for today, I've got some pictures from back in the day that I dug up just to verify some of the claims that Mr. Maxer, wants to see proof of. And to be perfectly clear, I understand that because on the internet, you shouldn't actually believe anyone, unless they can present, sufficient proof. Because yes, he's right. There are a lot of, LARPers on the internet. We probably know the biggest one that lives in his basement and pretends to be something else. But anyway, I guess I'll before I get into that, I guess I'll start by answering his biggest question, which is why am I here, right? Um, so I guess the reason I'm here is I found this content a couple of years ago and found it really interesting, and that kind of like takes you down the rabbit hole, right? Well, I disagree with a lot of things. If somebody has scientific evidence, I will listen. That's why, like like when I met first, like I really liked his approach to things. Even like Face and LMS. I don't necessarily love the way he presents it, but he did make a decent case. It makes you think, and that's a good thing. Um, so then you get involved, and then I came across just like the BSers. Like you got like those red pill guys who are just full of crap, trying to scam guys out of a bunch of money. So they need to be called out. Then of course you just have the worst of the worst, the MGTOW dictionaries, the hold the truth hostages, the scribes, who are just complete liars and are just going to lead people down a very, very bad path. And again, like everybody's an adult and can, make their own determinations, but somebody needs to call it out and, like just point out the logical fallacies in the stuff that they're pushing, just so that, because some of it, how do I put this? Even though they're actually like they're dumb, but they're not dumb, right? Because they know how to make it come off as if it sounds intelligent. And a young impressionable person could actually I can see like the way they present it sometimes, 'cause it's all about making it look like something that it's not, right? Like we all know that, like a bunch of like John Anthony lifestyle or whatever, we know he buys subscribers. Coach Blackpill actually caught him buying subscribers in the middle of like checking his what's that site called, social blade, social media blade. Help me out here with this one. But yeah, so like somebody needs to keep those people in check, and it's just kind of like a hobby that I do. If you want to know my wife's position on it, we've done a stream together. You can check it out. It's actually the second stream in my videos. You got to go back a ways, but it's there. She's also been on a couple of my other streams. Her opinion on it is that this is just a waste of my time, and to be honest, she's probably right. But again, like something draws me in. I just like when I see so much BS out there, like I gotta weigh in on it and keep it in check. To be honest, I'd rather talk about other things. There's so much else going on in the world, and I do think there are times where we're just beating a dead horse. But I mean, hey, people are gonna keep making BS arguments. I will keep providing evidence to the contrary. Um, all right. Anyway, why don't we start with some with that proof you wanted to see, Hormaxer, of my physique back in the day. Um, I think somebody I wasn't able to watch your entire video, because that's the thing is your streams are like 4 hours, man, and like that's cool that you want to do that. But like me personally, I try to keep a stream like no more than like 2 hours, because then like it's very hard to like watch the whole thing in one chunk, right? Especially like if you've got a lot going on, right? Like and you're away from like the computer for like a day or two. It's like, okay, now how am I gonna find time? You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that are gonna be said. You don't have time to watch the whole damn thing. It's like kind of like what me and First were talking about when it comes to like verifying sources, and I was explaining that I had to actually go on Google Earth and zoom in with a satellite to Mariupol to verify where that block actually was. It's like you don't have time to do all that. But um, anyway, let me show you the evidence that you wanted to see. All right, back in the day photos here. Right here's me in high school. Because you were saying, Hormaxer, how can I verify that any of it's true, right? Because I made a claim that I ran a 454 mile in high school, and during the same year, I was able to bench 250. It might have been 240, but still, either way, like you probably know people right now who can bench 300, but they're not coming anywhere near breaking a sub 5 minute mile, nor are they coming near breaking like a 7 minute mile, right? Um, so this here again, you can believe what you want. Here's a picture of me running track. You can see like compared to like the kids around me, I clearly had much like larger legs, larger arms in most cases than some of these kids too. I was 170, 175 pounds here, which you got to give me some props to run a sub 5 minute mile at that weight. That takes a good amount of endurance there. And I'm trying to see where's the other picture I had here of me doing track. Here we go. You can see like this in this one here too, right? That's me. I was clearly, in terms of like legs and arms, again, more built than those other kids, and was clearly keeping up. So again, I don't have a video of me running a 454 mile, but again, like I could probably bring on somebody I went to high school with, who can verify. My brother too was a very good track runner. You can see right here, him and I are built quite differently. He's more of like a lanky ectomorph, and I'm probably the mesomorphic body type. But yeah, there you go. There's some pictures there. And you can see here, I did have a six pack when I was younger. I want to say I was like 19 or 20 in this picture. I'd actually slimmed down a little bit from the previous picture, but you can see I did have a six pack. It's right there. This picture was taken just after high school ended. Was definitely 15% body fat here. Um, you can actually see if you here's me right. I think this was like the day of my graduation from high school. But yeah, a couple of pictures here to go off of. Okay, here we go. This is the one that I was looking for. So this was actually in high school. This was my junior year. I remember because I had that shirt junior year. Again, this is not. I like I said, I don't have a video of me putting up, or a picture rather of me putting up 250 in high school. I never knew that I would need it for to prove on the internet later. This is just like a friend of mine who took the picture. And again, I actually may have failed it here because it looks like the spotter is saving me. But I went on to get it, in the weeks to come, and this was only junior year. Um, so again, to believe that I hit 250 or 240, it was one or the other. Again, we're talking a long time ago. So do I remember the exact number? No. But again, like I do have a picture of doing two. This was a solid attempt at 225, and I wasn't even a senior yet in this picture. So again, like believe what you want, but this is again, I could probably reach out to somebody I went to high school with to be like, yeah, he did probably put up that weight. We were there, in the weight room or whatever. And again, I'm not saying that like, obviously like not going to the Olympics, putting up that kind of weight. I'm just pointing out that like, for a high school student, that is definitely north of average, especially if you're able to run middle distance track with decent times as well too. Same with like a 454 mile. It's really not really anything that special to brag about. I mean, you're not going to go to states with it. You need like a 430 for that. And most of the kids who can break a 430, are going to be like 120, 130 pounds. But again, most guys that are 170 pounds are not going to be able to even break five. I would guess like, not even sometimes not even break six. So, yeah, that's the point on that. Here's another picture. This was actually done. This was right after high school. So again, this was not in high school, but this was 250 right here. I mean, you can see I clearly got this one. The spotter isn't helping at all, but this was just after high school. So again, you can see like, around that time, definitely did run track, definitely was able to manage that kind of weight. So yeah, like would I have hit, 300 pounds if I just focused on weightlifting, as a high schooler and, didn't focus on, running? And I ran up to 5Ks sometimes. So, I mean, that's a lot of cardio. It's a lot of calories burnt. I probably could have hit, 300 or 315 in high school, had I focused my energy just on that. In hindsight, I probably should have done the pentathlon, but hindsight's 2020. But yeah, I think that should hopefully this is sufficient enough proof for you that I'm not BSing these claims. Granted, yeah, I was a lot better looking, when I was younger, being that I had a lower body fat percentage. And like, you can see here, like, yeah, you could actually see like my jawline here. Like, I didn't have like the double chin yet. And I actually had a pretty like reasonably square jawline. So yeah, like, I obviously never said that like looks don't matter. But I definitely didn't have, any problems with the ladies back then, as some people in the sphere like to want to believe. So um but yeah, that was my 20s. Man, I was really drunk in that picture. You can actually see like the gin blossoms like on my cheeks there. And yeah, and like the way I got out of shape, I just I was a partier. I'm not gonna lie. I made some I liked alcohol. I mean, that's I had to make some changes to not go down a path I would regret. Did it take its toll on my body? I mean, absolutely. Like throughout my 20s, I pretty much had a beer in my hand almost like every weekend. Yeah, I paid for it when I got older. But what I find, hypocritical, Mr. Maxer, is you talk about how, oh, well, I was blue pilled, my whole life up until recently, and I just started working out, at 45. So clearly, you admit you made a mistake. Why can't I have made a mistake? And, and I'm fixing that now, right? I've actually lost 10 pounds since the beginning of August. I was 202 as of a couple of days ago. I'm 192 now. So actually going in the right direction. But like the point being, like it's just like all these like assumptions that everybody seems to have like here. You never know. You don't know like what somebody's situation was like. Anyway, hopefully this is you know enough proof here that like of who I was back then. Anyway, I'll move on to my next point. So actually, here's one of my biggest haters. This here is Neo Wolf. Okay, this is a guy who apparently claims that I look oofy doofy or whatever, and he said he's 29. So I pulled a picture of me when I was 29. Versus him, and the you calling me oofy doofy, buddy. That's a riot, okay? And then I took a picture. I took a still of him playing guitar in one of his videos. And again, this is a guy who he's a big larper. He talks about how he's making like a fitness channel or whatever. I mean, like again, like this is a guy who has toothpick arms. Okay, like I don't even have big arms. Okay, my arms are only 16 inches. But this dude, mine's like literally double his. Like that's got to be like a 12-inch like circumference arm or something there, dude. So congratulations on looking like Skeletor, and keep living in your delusion there, buddy. All I have to say here is just JFL. Again, Neo Wolf mentioning he's 29. Both the left and right picture of me here were both when I was 29. So, yeah, like Neo Wolf doesn't realize that if this was like the Stone Age, his, weak eyesight, toothpick armed self would actually be relying on me to defend him from like a predator or something. Because I could not only is Neo Wolf physically weak, he's mentally weak too, because he didn't see the hypocrisy in he commented on my video a while ago, my nuclear roast of MGTOW dictionary, and he said, "Oh, you made a 41 video attacking a guy you don't know anything about." Oh, and I'm like, really? Because a 41 video attacking a guy that I don't know, right? That it's because 41 minutes is a lot better than an 8-hour stream attacking people you don't know. Like the lack of self awareness in this guy is just astounding. He's just so unself aware. But anyway, what can you do? You can't fix stupid. You really can't. Let's move to the next one. Now, next up, we've got Hold the Truth Hostage, which I hope you can see the irony in his name, Hold the Truth Hostage. If you're holding the truth hostage, that means that you're lying. That means that you're taking the truth and ransoming it. You're not being truthful. So his name is actually a thinly veiled it's a thinly veiled attempt at hiding what he actually does, which is lie. And I can't for the life of me think, why does this guy always look like he's got to drop a mean shit? I mean, look at his face here. He's like, "Arr!" like because he's always talking about gold pills and gray pills and whatever other colored pills. He's got a whole, pharmacy of pills. The pills must be freaking suppositories because he looks like he's cramming something up his ass. Like he's always gritting his teeth. He looks like something's up his ass. I don't know what's up with this guy, but let's just talk about what a dumb dude this is, okay? He's on some stream that was sent to me recently talking about how my MHC complex theory, is ridiculous and all that, even though it's well supported by science. And what he doesn't realize is that MGTOW Dictionary actually put it in the stupid sperm book. Yeah, I read a sample and he actually put it in there, probably because he needed to fill pages because, he just goes on and on with his drivel. But listen, I'll actually buy the book so you guys don't have to and do a full review on it. That will happen at some point. Me and my brother and a couple of my other friends are probably going to, get together and do that at some point. Don't spend your money on this worthless crap. I'll do it so you don't have to. It's not worth $10. It's 10 more dollars than these people should ever get. But I mean, for the chance to humiliate them, I think it's highly worth it. But yeah, it's actually in the book, and then you have Hold the Truth Hostage talking about how which shows us he didn't actually read the book, but he's going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and talk about how great it is and recommend it to everybody. A book that he did not read. Once again, showing that he does indeed hold the truth hostage because he's a lying sack of crap. Um, so and then he's done other failed things. He was trying to make some Street Fighter clone video game that I guess hasn't come to fruition, and I'm guessing never will. Because I mean, this man's just a sad failure at everything he ever does. You guys want to hear something funny? He was asking for $30,000 to make his shitty game, and in a month's time, he got $200. So, see, man, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your shitty game, your shitty rap music. All of it sucks. You suck at everything. Like, dude, just give up already. But I'm going to talk about, like, it's not even that. He's just objectively a bad person because everybody else like QB and Caduceus, Self-Made, they all left MGTOW Dictionary because they saw that he was a lying sack of crap. Now, Hold the Truth Hostage knows that MGTOW Dictionary is a lying sack of crap and is going to defend this man to the death. And then he's talking about, roasting me until I rope, which I guess is some type of threat, talking about, oh, where I come from, we kill people. You ain't doing shit, okay? I'd fold you in half like a lawn chair. And he's got some weird obsession with my hands and my wife's hands, making claims that like her hands are bigger. Let me show you guys something here, okay? Hold up. Where's that picture? Here's a picture, okay? Like they took my hands and like photoshopped her hands to make them look bigger. Here's an actual picture of like her hands, next to mine. And you can see like I have like wider shoulders and everything. It is true that she's taller than me, but again, like these guys are just horrendous liars. Um, but I think you know what it is when people hate themselves, they tend to talk about features in other people, that are messed up. And it's funny because Hold the Truth Hostage makes some stupid cat scooper thing. Like I guess cat scoopers have already been invented, sir. Cat litter scoopers, and he freaking invented some like cat litter thing that is not gonna be very successful. But anyway, hold up. Why can't I bring up this picture here? Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Um, there we go. You can actually see this, and I'm going to bring up another picture in a minute where for you to see. This dude has really scrawny wrists and actually really narrow fingers for a dude who claims that he's 6'8". I mean, he could very well be 6'7", 6'8", but if he is, again, he's really skinny. It's almost like I'm noticing like a trend here. All these guys who talk the most crap are again usually the physically and mentally weakest men among us. It's just like it's really funny how that works because they hate themselves, so they call out everything in their enemies. But yeah, like again, like it appears that like my thumb is like thicker than his, and like the wrist is definitely you can see my wrist there on the right, his wrist on the left, holding his revolutionary cat scooper. That's gonna be so good. It's so much better than all the other cat scoopers out there. You jackass. Hold up a sec. I'm gonna find something to show you guys a better picture where I first noticed his little his little tiny wrists. This guy's like a what do they call it a wristlet? Well, he's a brainlet too. He's definitely a brainlet, but he's definitely a wristlet for sure. There it is. This is the one I'm looking for. You can see here that Hold the Truth Hostage has very narrow wrists. This is in his little cat scooper commercial thing. So yeah, you can definitely tell like he's got pretty weak wrists. This dude's just such a joke. Like I really wonder when he's gonna realize like that he's being played and switch his sides like everyone else. Because I mean, the bottom line is, you want to worship some like pathetic basement maxing 54-year-old man. You go right ahead. That's your own prerogative. Just see how far that gets you. You're an adult man, and it's your life to do with what you want. But everybody else, got some sense and jumped ship. Like it's just a really bad look for you. And honestly, like you talking about how you're being nice, like not roasting me. I'm the one being nice to you, okay? You can think in your delusional little head whatever you might think. You guys comparing me to, Luigi, obviously, like that's two different things. Like I've said plenty of times, like Luigi is obviously nuts. But I mean, first off, you're talking about how I don't blink. Yeah, no shit. You never take your eyes off the enemy, sir. But that's like when you go into like the psych ward and the patients are calling, you crazy. But I mean, you're the one who listens to a 54-year-old basement maxer who writes a book that's just complete nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, sperm can't be retained for that long because they can't even divide. They're haploid. Do you even know what that word means? It's probably too big of a word for you, but yeah, we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, Hold the Truth Hostage. What a complete moron.